Welcome back to the Real Story channel. Have you ever witnessed a love so unconventional, so daring, that it defied societal norms and expectations? If so, would you be willing to embark on a journey with us, as we delve deeper into the extraordinary tale of a woman's unorthodox love, her desire to conceive a child with a man labeled as mad? Join us for part 2 of this captivating story, as we unravel the complexities of their relationship and the profound impact it has on their lives. Let's begin. Immediately upon waking up, Dela saw the mysterious goddess in her bed, right after her pregnancy. Dela screamed as the mysterious goddess transformed back into her normal face, preparing to unleash her powers on Dela. In a panic, Dela screamed the name of Queen Mother Ani, questioning her intentions and why she wanted to harm her. Dela reminded the goddess of her duty to protect the people and destroy enemies, wondering why she was being targeted. The goddess, in an unusual voice, asked who Dela was and what she had done. Dela revealed her lineage, emphasizing her connection to the goddess's kingdom, and demanded that she return to whoever sent her to kill. Staring steadily at Dela with her mysterious eyes, the goddess suddenly realized Dela's true identity and the unborn child she carried. Understanding that harming them would violate the laws of their land, the goddess disappeared. Once the goddess vanished, a madman who had been sleeping on the ground woke up and began to laugh. Dela intervened, instructing him to go back to sleep, and he quickly complied. Unable to sleep due to fear and anxiety, Dela pondered who could have sent the goddess, considering the madman as a potential cause. However, she doubted this theory and questioned what was happening. Following her departure from Dela's room, the goddess appeared in Bob's room that night, wearing an enigmatic smile. Unaware of her presence, Bob slept soundly. After a while, the goddess vanished. The next morning, Dela, experiencing severe stomach pains and fearing for her unborn child's safety, went to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor conducted tests and reassured her that there was nothing wrong with the baby, diagnosing her discomfort as a normal stomach ache. The doctor prescribed medication to alleviate the pain, and Dela's condition improved after taking the drugs. A few days later, Bob and his friends visited a restaurant to enjoy themselves. During their time there, a stunning and unfamiliar girl named Loveline entered and ordered food and drinks. Bob found himself unable to look away, captivated by her beauty. Rex called out to Bob repeatedly, trying to regain his attention. "Are you okay, Bob?" Felix asked. Yes, I'm okay," Bob replied. "You've been staring at that girl since she arrived." "I hope it's not what I'm thinking," Rex said. "Guys, that girl just grabbed my attention. It's like she completely captured my heart. I'm going to meet her," Bob said as he left the table. "Damn, that girl is cute," Felix commented. "I swear she's even more beautiful than Dela, his late fiancée," Rex replied. When Bob reached the girl's table, he greeted her with a hi. "Good day, sir," Len greeted back. "Good day. Can I join you if you don't mind?" Bob asked. "Sure, please sit," she replied. "Thank you very much," Bob said. "You're welcome." "So, what's your name?" she asked. "My name is Bob." "What about you?" he inquired. "I am Loveline," she responded. "Wow, what an angelic name, Loveline. I must confess, you're as pretty as a speckled pup, and your cuteness is beyond comparison. I've seen numerous girls, but I've never seen a girl as pretty and adorable as you," Bob complimented. "Oh, thank you. You're also very handsome," Loveline replied. "Thank you, Loveline. So, are you living in this town?" Bob asked. "Not at all. I live in the capital, but I'm from this village. I just came here for a very significant project," she explained. "Wow, that's amazing. So, how long do you intend to stay here?" Bob inquired. "Just a week. I believe by then, I would have accomplished my mission, then head back to the capital, she replied. They exchanged contacts and, as they looked into each other's eyes, it felt like love at first sight. 3 days later, Prince Dan summoned Prime Minister Ono and the King's cabinets to discuss an important matter. I summoned you all here to discuss something very important, Dan said. My prince, go ahead and say whatever you want to say. We are all ears, Ono encouraged. Thank you very much, my elders. It has been 2 months since Prince Obi died, and my father traveled to India for treatment. The throne has been empty since he fell ill. As the heir, I want all of you to crown me king. When my father comes back, I will step down for him, Prince Dan proposed. That's an abomination, my prince. It goes against our customs and traditions. We would never crown you king while our king is still alive, they replied. I will give each of you 5-10 million, that's 2 million each, to crown me king, Dan offered. Thank you, my prince, but we don't need your money, and you will never be crowned king until your father joins our ancestors. We beg to take our leave, Ono responded, and they all left the palace. A few days later, Bob invited Loveline to spend the night at his house since she intended to travel to the capital the next day. That night, they made love without protection. However, Bob had a terrible nightmare. In the dream, he paid Loveline's bride price, they had a traditional marriage, and it was their wedding day. They united as husband and wife, exchanging wedding rings. As they leaned in for a kiss, Lena suddenly transformed into the face of the mysterious goddess. Bob screamed and woke up abruptly. Upon waking, he turned to find Lavin awake and staring at him. Lavin congratulated him as his husband before disappearing. Startled, Bob fled from the room to the gatekeeper's room, calling out to Ola in fear. Ola asked what was pursuing him, but Bob mentioned the girl who had visited him. Ola hadn't seen anyone and Bob instructed him to fetch his phones and lock all the doors, wanting to sleep in Ola's room. Confused, Ola asked what was happening, but Bob commanded him to do as asked without further questions. In the morning, as the sun rose, Bob rushed to his friend's place and shared everything with them. Rex commented on Bob's stubbornness and warned him about the consequences. Felix suggested focusing on how to handle the situation before it escalated. Rex asked Bob about his intentions now, considering the delicate matter at hand. Bob expressed his desire to consult a native doctor for help, feeling that his life was in serious danger. Agreeing with Bob's plan, Felix asked when he would go. Bob replied, "Today, bro." A few hours later, Bob arrived at the shrine and approached the native doctor, seeking his assistance. The native doctor questioned the purpose of his visit. Bob explained that his life was in danger and sought the eyes of the gods for help. The native doctor sighed and listened as Bob divulged everything. In response, the native doctor instructed Bob to stretch out his hands with open palms. Shaking his head, the native doctor warned Bob about the consequences of allowing his friends to mislead him. Bob pleaded for guidance at this critical juncture, tears welling in his eyes. However, the native doctor regretfully informed him that there was nothing he or anyone else could do. Bob was already married to a powerful ancient goddess, making him helpless. Distraught, Bob cried out for help, but the native doctor explained that although the goddess was in love with him, she wouldn't harm or hurt him. However, if he dared to marry another woman or be intimate with someone else, there will be a major battle between you and her. Now, leave my shrine, Bob sadly exited the shrine. Several months later, Dela gave birth to a boy named Fortune. If it weren't for God's intervention, Dela could have lost her life during childbirth. She faced various complications and had to spend all her money on hospital bills, medications, and baby essentials. She received no assistance and struggled alone. However, God saw her through, and on the day Fortune was born, mysterious signs appeared in the palace. Flocks of birds circled the palace, and rain fell exclusively on the palace for 3 consecutive days. Many strange occurrences took place. The queen, Ono, and the king's advisors questioned Prince Den about the unusual signs, as they had historically been associated with the birth of a future king in the kingdom. They asked if he had impregnated a girl without their knowledge. Prince Den truthfully denied the accusation, stating that he would never hide such news from them. The queen urged him to speak the truth, referencing a similar incident when his late brother, Obi, was born. The queen shared that the signs had appeared on that day as well, indicating the birth of a future king. Prince Den reiterated that he had not impregnated any girl. The queen and the advisors considered the possibility of Prince Obi fathering a child before his death. They decided to consult the chief priest for an explanation. While they were discussing, the chief priest entered and announced the birth of the future king. The queen requested an explanation from the eyes of the gods regarding the happenings in their kingdom. The chief priest stated that the future king had been born, but his whereabouts were yet to be revealed. He assured them that the future king would return home at the appointed time. Eager to know when that would be, the queen inquired, but the chief priest could not provide a specific date. He took his leave, leaving the queen, Prince Den, Ono, and the king's advisors in a state of confusion. One morning, as Bob brushed his teeth in front of a mirror, contemplating the events that had unfolded, suddenly, Love Line manifested in a mysterious form on the mirror, causing Bob to scream. As he tried to flee, Love Line commanded him to stop, claiming to be his wife. Bob stood frozen, unable to move. Love Line assured him that she didn't intend to harm him but had come to inform him that she was pregnant with his child. She warned Bob that if he ever slept with another woman, she would torment him relentlessly for 6 months. She also mentioned that she could see everything he did and urged him to call on her when he needed help. With that, Love Line disappeared, and Bob, overwhelmed, ran away from the house in a state of panic. In the following months, life became incredibly difficult for Dela. They could barely afford 1 meal a day as she had spent all her money during childbirth. To make ends meet, Dela started hawking water in the market, carrying their child, Fortune, on her back. One day, her rent was due, and she couldn't afford to renew it. She had been begging the landlord for an extension. One morning, the landlord arrived and threatened and humiliated her, giving her a week to pay or face eviction and possible arrest for the overdue rent. Dela had been patient, but the landlord's patience was running out. After the landlord left, Dela, saddened by the encounter, sat on the ground and began crying heavily. The madman, who had been watching her silently, got up, took out a golden necklace from his pocket, and gave it to Dela. Dela was astonished because she had no idea the madman possessed such a valuable item. Initially hesitant, she eventually accepted the necklace when the madman insisted. Dela happily wore the necklace, which brought a smile to her face and comforted her. She thanked the madman and hugged him, expressing her gratitude for the surprise. However, the madman remained silent. Dela then carried Fortune on her back, locked the madman inside, and went out to continue hawking water. 3 days later, while Dela was selling water on the roadside with Fortune on her back, a man interested in buying water noticed the golden necklace she was wearing and interrupted to inquire about the quantity he wanted to purchase. "Can you please inform me, sir, how many you desire instead of simply staring?" Dela inquired. "Wait a moment, young lady. Why are you selling water under this scorching sun?" he asked. "Please, sir, that's my source of income and how I provide for my family," she replied. "I don't understand, young lady. How can you wear a necklace worth millions of naira while selling water?" the man asked. "Do you mean this necklace?" she questioned. "Yes, it's worth millions of naira, sir." I didn't know. Where did you get it from? He asked. My husband gave it to me. Your husband must have been a millionaire or billionaire, the man remarked. Please sell this necklace and use the money to take care of yourself and your family. You shouldn't wear a fortune around your neck while struggling, the man advised, then drove away. Upon hearing the man's words, Dela hurriedly went to the local gold market. When she inquired about the necklace's cost, she was astonished when the sellers informed her it was worth 2 million naira. She left the shop silently and visited another one. Upon arrival, the shopkeepers examined her from head to toe before pricing the necklace at 3 million naira. Realizing the gold traders were assessing her before giving a price, she decided not to sell it, suspecting it might be worth more. Returning home, Dela braided her hair and wore her most expensive and attractive gown and shoes. She dressed elegantly and hired a clean taxi to take her back to the same gold market. Upon reaching the place, she acted and behaved like a billionaire's daughter. Everything about her demeanor changed. When she inquired about the buyer's offer, he said, 10 million, ma'am. What? Do you even know how much I paid for this necklace? If you're not interested, let me know. I have other buyers waiting, Dela confidently stated. Madam, how much do you want to sell it for? The shop owner asked. 25 million naira, she replied. Madam, 25 million is too much. Okay, I can pay 13 million naira, he countered. If you're not willing to buy, driver, please take me elsewhere, Dela requested. She visited 3 different places, and each offered a lower price than the first buyer. Finally, she returned to the initial buyer and said, okay, bring 16 million. Let's make the deal. No, madam. The best I can do is 13.5 million, the gold buyer responded. You know what? Bring 14.5 million, Dela proposed. 14 million is acceptable, madam. I'm going. Bye-bye, have a nice day, madam. Come, let me give you 14.5 million, the buyer said. Driver, please let's go. He's not ready to buy. Please, madam, come back and provide your account number, Dela instructed. 2 minutes later, the buyer transferred 15 million naira to her account. Afterward, Dela settled the taxi driver's fare, paid off all her debts, and covered her house rent. She purchased all the necessary items for her home and also bought some clothes and shoes for the madman. When she arrived home, she asked the madman, "Who are you?" The madman replied, "Me." Dela inquired again, "Yes, you. Who are you?" The madman chuckled and said, "Oh God, what's happening to me? Like this. If you don't tell me who you are today, I will leave this house right now." Dela spoke with seriousness. The madman stared at her intently and burst into laughter once more. Dela felt extremely perplexed, unsure of what to do next. Eventually, she decided to go out and search for a shop to start her own business. After opening her shop, she took the madman to several psychiatric hospitals in an effort to cure his madness. However, none of the hospitals were successful, and she spent a significant amount of money without any positive outcome. Consequently, she focused on her business. One day, Ivan, Dela's brother, completed his youth service and returned home. "Mommy, Daddy, have you found out where my sister is?" Ivan inquired. Ivan's father responded, "Ivan, forget about that useless sister of yours, who I sent to school only for her to bring shame and disgrace to this family." Ivan pleaded, "Daddy, please don't blame my sister. It was her love and uncontrollable feelings for the madman that led her to choose him over Bob. You shouldn't have abandoned her." Ivan's mother added, "My son, I agree with you. I have been thinking and crying day and night because of my daughter. I regret the day we kicked her out of the house. I miss my only daughter dearly. It's okay, Mommy, but do you know where she is right now? Ivan asked. His mother replied, not at all. I heard she gave birth a few months ago, but no one knows where she is residing. Ivan determinedly stated, I will visit all her friends' houses to find out if they know where Dela is staying. Afterward, Ivan went to all of Dela's friends' houses in search of her, but none of them knew where she was living. A week later, Bob was preparing to leave for work when Loveline suddenly appeared in the back seat of his car. Startled, Bob attempted to flee, but Loveline locked the car doors instantly. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, Bob pleaded. Loveline reassured him, saying, why are you always afraid of your wife? I told you I would never harm you because you are my beloved husband. The sooner you accept me as your wife, the better for you. Bob, filled with fear, asked, what do you want from me? Loveline replied, nothing but your love. I have 2 surprises for you. The first is that I have given birth to a boy in another world. Take this card, use it, and withdraw any amount of money you want. However, never check the account balance. If you ever check the account balance or give the card to someone else to withdraw money, there will be consequences. Take it and use your birth year as the PIN. Bob was filled with immense fear as he received the card, but Loveline casually threw it onto his body and vanished. He swiftly opened the car doors and ran as far away from the vehicle as possible. 2 hours later, Bob returned with Felix and Rex to retrieve his car. With trepidation, he unlocked the car and discovered that the mysterious ATM card Loveline had given him was still inside. Bob proceeded to share all the details about the ATM card with his friends. Bob, what are we waiting for? Let's go and test this ATM card to see if it works, Felix exclaimed. They headed to an ATM, and Bob successfully used the enigmatic card to withdraw a large sum of money that day. They were overjoyed with the outcome. Meanwhile, after Ivan's unsuccessful attempts to locate Dela through her friends, he remembered Anita. He decided to visit Anita's home, who informed him that she didn't know Dela's whereabouts but had her direct phone number. Grateful for the information, Ivan obtained the phone number from Anita. Later in the evening, Ivan called Dela, leaving her surprised to hear his voice. Ivan expressed his longing to see her and conveyed how much he missed her. Dela mentioned that she didn't share her home address but provided him with her shop address. A few hours later, Ivan arrived at Dela's shop, and she took him to her apartment. Ivan was astounded by how well Dela took care of the madman. Dela recounted the story of the golden necklace given to her by the madman. Ivan suggested that it might be time to take him to a psychiatric hospital in another state. Dela expressed her exhaustion, having already taken him to several psychiatric hospitals and expended a significant amount of money from the necklace's sale, yet finding no solution to his madness. Sister, I understand. Please don't give up. Just consider taking him to a psychiatric hospital in another state, and I am willing to support you in any way I can, Ivan encouraged. Dela inquired about the specific state Ivan was referring to which he replied, a due state. Dela responded, okay, I will think about it. Ivan urged her to think swiftly, emphasizing that he always wanted the best for her. Ivan, how was your youth service? Dela asked. Ivan replied, it was amazing, sister. I thank God. Even now, I want to hurry to my shop before customers come looking for me. 3 days later, Ivan contacted his best friend, Fred, who resided in Adamo, and shared the situation regarding the madman's condition. Hello, Ivan. Fred, what's up? Ivan greeted his friend. Fred informed Ivan, I have an update regarding your sister's fiancé's condition that you told me about 3 days ago. Ivan inquired, Fred, what's the update, please? Fred responded, there is a newly opened private hospital that my parents told me about. They mentioned that 70% of the doctors they specialize in brain treatment, and the hospital is top-notch. However, it is quite expensive. I think it would be beneficial for your sister to bring her fiancé, the madman, to that hospital. I believe they can cure him from his madness. Fred expressed his gratitude, saying, "Fred, thank you very much. I will inform her as soon as she returns from work." Ivan advised him, "Okay, do not hesitate to let me know her response." Fred replied, "All right, talk to you later." A few hours later, Dela returned from work, and Ivan disclosed everything that his best friend had told him. Ivan said, "Dela, I would have loved to take him to the hospital, but the problem is money." Dela replied, acknowledging the financial constraints, "Sister, I understand, but please, I would advise you to sell the land you mentioned you bought when you sold the necklace." Dela paused for a moment to contemplate the decision of selling the land. She finally agreed, stating, "Okay, I will sell it, considering I acquired the land from the golden necklace he gave me." Ivan encouraged her, saying, "Please do." The next morning, Felix advised Bob to take the mysterious ATM card and relocate to a larger city to avoid any encounters with Loveline. Felix shared a childhood tale his mother had told him, stating that such spirits do not cross the Niger River, which one must cross to reach the big city. Bob foolishly agreed to relocate to the larger city. A week later, Dela found a buyer for the land. A few days after selling the land, Ivan and Dela took the madman to a due state. On the same day, Bob traveled to the big city with his friends Felix and Rex. Upon Dela and Ivan's arrival at Fred's father's house, they received a warm welcome from his parents, who offered them a guest room to stay. The following morning, Fred drove them to the private hospital, where the doctors promptly attended to the madman. One night, as Bob was sleeping, the mysterious goddess appeared and gently tapped him. When he woke up, he wanted to scream, but the goddess silenced his voice. She reprimanded him, saying, "How dare you travel to the big city without informing me? Did you think I wouldn't find you? I've told you before that I see everything you do every day. You have 1 week to return, or else I will show you what I'm capable of." Then, she disappeared. 5 days later, the madman was discharged after undergoing 3 major brain surgeries. The doctors assured Dela that he would soon recover from his madness. However, Dela remained skeptical about the doctor's words. Upon returning to their residence, Dela began to lament bitterly, realizing that she had wasted the money as there was no improvement in the madman's condition. In fact, he seemed to be deteriorating, constantly sleeping excessively. Ivan tried to console her, saying, "Please, sister, let's just be patient like the doctor advised." Dela snapped back, saying, "Ivan, leave me with all this advice. I'm tired of waiting. I can't wait any longer. I just wasted that money." One early morning, Dela was in the bathroom, taking her bath, while Ivan, Fortune, and the madman was still asleep. Suddenly, she heard the madman asking, "Where am I? Who kidnapped me?" Dela quickly toweled her body and rushed out to see what was happening. She asked Ivan, "What's going on?" Both Dela and Ivan were confused about the situation. The madman addressed Dela, saying, "Hey, woman, who are you? Who brought me here?" Dela stuttered, I am Dela." The madman continued, "Hey, Mr. and woman, I need answers to my questions right now. Wait, did you people kidnap me and bring me to this pig's house? Don't you people know who I am and who my father is?" Ivan clarified, "We didn't kidnap you, sir. My sister and I were the ones who saved your life." The madman was puzzled, asking, "Saved my life? How? Who are you people?" Dela replied, "I am your wife, and the guy here is my younger brother. The baby on the bed is your son." The madman couldn't grasp the situation, requesting Dela to repeat what she had just said. Dela repeated, "I said I am your wife. The guy here is my younger brother, and the baby on the bed is your biological son." The madman questioned, "My wife and son? How? When did I marry you? Where is my phone?" Ivan intervened, saying, "Sir, you got married to my sister last year, and you've been living with her for over a year now." The madman exclaimed, "Stay with who for a year? It is very clear that you people are mad. Can I have my phone?" Dela was speechless, silently weeping. Ivan replied, "Sir, we didn't see you with any phone when we saved your life." The madman questioned their actions, saying, "Whose life did you people save? I don't understand the rubbish you people are talking about. Look, I want to get out of here right now. Tomorrow is my coronation, and my people are waiting for me." As they were interacting, Dela's TV was on, showing a commercial advertisement. Suddenly, the madman overheard them saying 1982 on the TV instead of 1981. He quickly glanced at the TV screen and saw a 1982. "Bro, which year are we?" he asked, confusedly. Ivan responded, "Sir, we're in the year 1982. The madman exclaimed, 1980. "Oh my God, what's wrong with me? What have you people done to me?" he asked furiously. Ivan tried to explain, saying, "Sir, we were your lifesavers, but you didn't give us the slightest opportunity to explain to you what happened. That's why you are confused." The madman pleaded, "Please, what happened to me? What have you done to me?" he asked, screaming at the top of his voice. Ivan replied, "Well, sir, only my sister can narrate the whole story to you because she was the only one who was with you right from the day it all started till today. But please try to be calm. Okay, young lady, I am very sorry for raising my voice. Please pardon my manners and tell me what happened to me because right now, I don't understand myself," the madman apologized. Dela began to narrate everything to him, starting from the first night. After she finished narrating, the madman sadly got on his knees and appreciated Dela. "Thank you very much for saving my life. Without you, I could have been a dead man by now. May God bless you mightily for me." Dela also went down on her knees to apologize, but the madman stopped her, saying, "No, no, no, don't apologize. Please, I feel I am the one to apologize because I had my way with you and got you pregnant even when you were in the state you were. Please forgive me. I don't understand how my emotions took a better part of me." Lost in thought for a brief moment, the madman said, "After all the love I have shown you and everything I did for you, you had the guts to conspire to kill me. Dan, I am coming for you." Ivan questioned, "I am extremely sorry, sir, but who is Dan?" The madman replied, "He is my younger brother." Ivan further asked, "But how did you know he was the one who conspired to kill you?" The madman responded, "Because he was the one who came with 2 boys to pick me up when I arrived at the airport that evening. I am very sorry about that, sir." "I thank God for your life," Ivan said. Dela asked, "What is your name?" "I have been with you without knowing your name." The madman introduced himself, saying, "My name is Obi." "What about yours?" Dela replied, "I am Dela." Ivan added, "Okay, what about you?" "My name is Ivan." Dela then requested a favor from Obi, asking, "Can you do me a favor, Obi?" Obi inquired, "What kind of favor, please?" Dela explained, "Let's carry the baby and go for a DNA test because I'm just desperate to know whether the child is truly my son." Obi agreed, saying, "Okay, but the problem is where we would get the money for the DNA test because I have spent all the money and resources I had for your mental illness." Dela expressed her concern about the finances, but Obi assured her, "Don't worry about money. When I get there, I will introduce myself to them." Curiosity arose, and Dela and Ivan asked, "Who are you?" Obi replied enigmatically, "Coincidentally, I don't need to introduce myself to you people, but very soon, you will know who I am." They proceeded to go for the DNA test. Back at the palace, the king returned from India to his kingdom. Although he was better, he had not completely recovered. The next day, he had a significant meeting with his family, Prime Minister Ono, and his cabinets regarding the coronation. At the end of the meeting, they agreed to crown Prince Dan, and they fixed the date for the coronation. A few days later, the DNA test results came out, confirming that Obi was indeed the biological father of Fortune. Obi then made arrangements to return to his town with Dela, Fortune, and Ivan the following day, which coincided with the day of the coronation. While the ceremony was taking place in the palace, suddenly a taxi driver drove Obi, Dela, Ivan, and Fortune into the palace. As the king, queen, Prince Dan, and others saw Obi, they began to shout, "Ghost! Ghost! Ghost!" Some people ran away, while the king, queen, and Prince Dan were in total shock. Dan unintentionally whispered, "No, this cannot be possible." The king turned to Dan and asked, "What did you say?" Thank you for watching. See you in the part 3.